When it comes to things in this world that rarely scare me, I think sleepwalking or the stories of paralysis demons, that is terrifying to me, especially because I grew up in a Christian household. So here we have a film called Nightmare that deals with that. So let's talk about it. The very short synopsis for this is: not all nightmares are over when you wake up. Have you ever had an experience when you're lying in bed and you have this weight on top of you, you're suddenly filled with massive fear, and then you're trying to scream but you can't? You're fully awake, but there seems to be something holding you down. I know loads of people that have had similar experiences to that, or sleepwalk and are screaming in their sleep. It's a terrifying idea. And I think this film works on some levels because it's not English and it has a little bit more atmosphere. It's Norwegian and it adds to the atmosphere with the culture, with the people, and there are similar actors that you would have seen in Netflix series like Ragnarok. You'll recognize one of the characters there. So I was glad to see some familiar faces, and also happy to know that it wasn't English, because sometimes you get films that just do it better because you have a culture that is putting their own experiences in with a slight difference, a variant. The thing is with this film is it takes its time explaining, but it is also all over the place. So we have a doctor that's helping our protagonist trying to work through a number of issues, and I would say that if you have had issues with pregnancy, you've lost a baby or you've lost a child, this may not be the movie for you, because it deals with that a lot in this film. So just a little top tip. It also kind of shines a light on how you deal with this in a relationship when someone doesn't quite understand what you're going through, how terrifying it is for you and why you would want to keep it to yourself. And having to lose a child is terrifying enough, but when you believe it might be a demon, especially as it has lore behind it, there's so much more going on there. The problem is this movie has a lot to do with the dream state of things, showing us how that works. Makes this film go all over the place. So you really have to pay attention to what's going on to actually understand what's going on in this movie. You cannot phone flick, you know, through something and wanting to kind of not fully pay attention. It's not one of those movies you can just put in the background. You're gonna have to pay full attention to this to understand, and even at the end you're still going to be asking yourself some questions, which is why I'll be talking about the ending in the end, It Explained at the end. But for now, let me just say the acting in this is very good. I really like both the couple. They are believable as to what they're going through. It's just the jump and skips as to like we miss some time because they're playing with sleep and paralysis and not knowing what is real when it's real. They play with that in the editing, so we're not sure where we're at or what is real when. And that should work, and I've seen it work a number of times in films like this, similar to this. But this doesn't always work. It more leaves you feeling frustrated because you don't quite know where you are with this film. You feel like you're meant to know something or understand something more, and it doesn't quite reach that. So there are moments in this film that are quite terrifying because of the way it's filmed, with that sleep paralysis, the distortion of sound, what's going on in the sleep version of reality. The use of sound techniques in this does make it quite creepy. And then even using the certain visual aesthetics that they use in this, I think makes it also interesting and more scarier. And so they have some really creative ideas going in this. It's just that as a whole, this left it kind of wanting more from it. Like the reveal felt like it needed to be bigger or feel like you've earned it. But I think you're going to kind of guess what's happening at the end. Maybe. I'm going to give this 2.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one. Congratulations.
I enjoyed it for what it was. I liked the idea of it, but the execution at the end as the whole of the movie just felt like a waste of time, really. Like we could have gotten there much quicker. It could have been a more clearer narrative, and the ending could have been more exciting. But that's just my thoughts. Maybe you absolutely love this. Let me know. Now I'm going to talk about the ending, do a sort of ending explained. Let me know your thoughts down below if you want to jump out now if you haven't seen the film. Thanks for watching. When I was talking about this film not knowing what's reality and what's not, and that's what our main protagonist here, she doesn't know what is reality when it is reality. She has to teach herself techniques telling herself that she's awake to know when she's awake, and when people are telling her that she's awake, she doesn't believe it. We get to the place where we think she's defeated the demon, and it comes out in all like a horrible demon style, and we kind of cut to a moment with her child, and it changes aesthetic and feeling, and it feels like it's like daytime real life, sort of like Inception, spinning the top. Doesn't feel like it's in the fake reality but in the real reality. Then she goes ahead and picks up the baby and walks over to the balcony and drops it, right? And we're all thinking, what the hell? It looked like they defeated the demon and this is with their child. As far as I'm aware, I don't know that the filmmakers know themselves as to what the ending is. Like again, with the spinning top, you could decide for yourself whether you think she's still in that dream reality or whether she's in the dream reality in her own mind, and what in reality she did was kill the baby. I'm not so sure she did, because when you saw that moment with her boyfriend, who is established to look like the demon as well, that is when he winks at the camera and it looks like he's still that thing. So she hasn't actually defeated it. So you could take it that she's still in his realm, controlling her, because the whole idea of it, this baby, was to be born so that he could be born as a demon. If that is the truth, then we still need a little bit of the film where she comes out and gives birth to her child, and then he is reborn, and you know, there's the end of the world or whatever. But it does look like it's suggesting that she just chucks it and goes, no, that isn't a real baby. Sort of like the Changeling we had on Apple TV series recently. It has a similar feeling towards what's going on here. Changeling executed it so much better. Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. What did you think the ending meant? Thanks so much for watching my reviews. Let me know your thoughts on this. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.